Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have 10 hearings in a case where Mom abandoned her son at his stepfather's home for over 7 months with no contact. Now the stepdad and his sister are motioning for an emergency guardianship because the child is struggling and they need authority to be able to get him the medical services he needs and that Mom has been ignoring. Mom shows up for many of these hearings in an altered state and demands that her son is returned to her, claiming that she never abandoned him and someone should have called her to let her know if he was having trouble. She makes constant demands and wild claims about how traumatic court is for her. She has tantrums and meltdowns when she isn't granted visitation, and she even gets caught with a water bottle down her pants when she tries to fake a court-ordered drug test. Let's see what the judge thinks of her antics.
All right, guardianship of Brunswick Swarenson.
Yeah, I'm here.
And okay. All right, so the petitioners here, it looks like Shira Kroll is here. I see Shira. Brad Peters, are you part of this case?
Your Honor, I have been taking care of Brunswick for the last 8 months. He was left with me because Miss Kroll knew it would be a safe place for him.
You're the brother of Miss Cutbirth?
I am.
Okay. And are you in agreement with her being the guardian?
At this time, Your Honor, yes, even if it was on a temporary basis until some services can be put in place for him. And he's got a lot of needs going on around the situation that me and his mother had a pretty tumultuous last 3 years, especially. And it's had a severe effect on him as to the other children have adjusted better to it. He needs to be in an environment right now where he has a mom and a dad in home. And that's what his needs are crying out for right now. And it's just me and my 2 daughters here. And it got really severe to the point to where I was having a hard time managing and taking care of the other kids and keeping schedules and stuff because the behavioral needs were so severe. And because I'm not his biological father, even though I've been a part of his life, I am his dad. And I will always be his dad. And I would never, ever give up on that opportunity. He's a great kid. He just has a lot of needs right now that I can't get. And because I don't have legal guardianship of him or rights of my own, they won't imply services for me. They won't allow me to get the services that he needs. And I've tried every avenue.
All right, right now, on an immediate emergency basis, Ms. Cutbirth is the guardian. So
Okay.
Yes.
You're okay with that? All right.
Yeah.
I'm not, and Ms. Kroll, I want to hear from you. What's your position on this? You're muted right now. If you could unmute yourself.
Oh,
Here you
sorry. I just was notified of this 2 days ago. I would like to postpone it so I'd have more time to prepare.
Okay.
And if I can have a visit at least 1 or 2 days a week until then. I haven't been able to see my son due to the no contact order between me and his father. I brought him home and then haven't been able to get him. I've tried twice to get him from school. And I've been calling the school and checking in, and they said he's been doing good. I was just informed that he wasn't. So this is new to me, and I have a place where I could take my son if I needed to, and have one-on-one attention with him. I haven't been able to see him since the order was instated 7 months ago, which is crazy. With all this in and out with the courts, I've developed a huge fear. I've thrown up twice since I've just been waiting just to see you. Having a really hard time with courts.
Okay.
I haven't been able to see my kids at all. No visits were ever instated, and I haven't made it. I've tried disputing the last hearing and couldn't get served in time, and kind of took advantage of not having to, or not. I don't know.
Let me talk to Ms. Cutbirth. right now I'm somewhat relying on you. Do you have any
Right.
objection to Ms. Kroll having some contact with
My
her son?
only objection is that Bruno hasn't seen her in 7 months, and I am concerned about his mental health and his emotional well-being. I did just this morning have his intake for counseling, and so I would think that it would be best for him to be able to establish a relationship with a counselor and maybe speak with that counselor about what would be best interest of Bruno. Ms. Kroll mentioned that, Shira mentioned that, I don't like calling by last names, I'm not that formal, but Shira had mentioned that, there was an order in place. When that order was put in place, she actually had Bruno in her custody, and she made the decision to leave him with Brad, knowing that there was an order in place that would mean that she couldn't have a very easy time getting him back. And then
I did not leave him there when the order was in place.
She did, and
it was 6 days before our court date.
It was, well, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
The order had.
Stop. One at a time.
I'm sorry. There had been a temporary order in place.
That issue isn't going to be discussed.
Right. That's a separate issue. My thing is that I just want, regardless of the circumstances surrounding why she hasn't seen Bruno doesn't understand any of that. He's a 10-year-old. So in his mind, he just hasn't seen his mom in 7 months.
He remembers his mom.
He does, and he misses her, to be completely honest, obviously. I really am just looking out for what's in Bruno's best interest. I'm trying to make sure that I don't want to take Bruno from anybody. I just want him to be in a safe situation.
Do you think a telephone or a video visit would work?
Yeah, I think that would be okay. I mean, I honestly have been leaving it up to Bruno. As far as even talking to Brad asked to talk to him the other day, and I was like, Bruno, do you want to talk to Brad? And he said no, and I said, sorry, Brad, Bruno doesn't want to talk to you. And I'm trying to give him his own autonomy, if that makes sense. I haven't ever dealt with a situation of abandonment before. I know how to deal with big behaviors because I've gone to school for early education, and I've taken classes like conscious discipline. So I know how to help with that kind of stuff. And Bruno means a lot to me. I've been in his life since he was a baby, just like Brad and Shira. And
I'm wanting to postpone this.
I'm going to do a couple things. I'm not making much in the way of decisions today.
I'm still really attacked right now.
Just a minute. Okay. So for the immediate term, I'm going to continue the immediate emergency minor guardianship in favor of Ms. Cuthbert.
Okay.
I'm going to allow telephone or video visits twice a week.
Okay.
And hopefully, I don't think there's a protection order between the two of you.
No, not at all.
I'm also going to appoint what's called a court visitor. You've heard from several of them that I've appointed in the other cases. Their job is to look at the case and give recommendations to the court. We do this on a rotating basis. I just go to the next name on the list. The next name on our list is Sherry Farr. And we will give her your information and she will get a hold of you. It really is best for everybody to cooperate with her. That's what helps the court make a correct decision. I will put this out. Let me put it out a month.
I'm not going to see my son for a month.
Well,
I haven't had any way to get a hold of him, or besides doing this whole court thing and serving and doing all that. And I'm not ready for court today. I've had 2 days. Nobody told me anything was going wrong. I've asked the school if he's doing good. He's been told he's been doing good. Cadron didn't let me know. Nobody even checked to see what my living situation was. They just assumed. And I did. Bruno came home before my final court date. I didn't anticipate it going the way it did, or I wouldn't have sent him home at all.
I'm happy to have you come back sooner when you have a chance to look at this. Do you want to do that? I could do it next week. I can't do it on the 27th, or I could have you come back on the 4th, which would be a little sooner.
You said the 4th?
4th of May. So either the 20th of April or the 4th of May.
Is the 20th, Your Honor, I'm sorry, is the 20th next week?
Yes.
I'm in school currently, and never mind. It's a Thursday. I was thinking Tuesdays are my classes. Never mind. That would work either way.
I'm just wondering, Ms. Kroll wanted more time to prepare, and I'm willing to have a hearing sooner so she has a chance to prepare.
I don't see I wish somebody would have let me know that things were going the way they were. I would have picked up Bruno as soon as I could.
Like, Your Honor, if I may, things were going well for pretty much the entire time. There was the normal stuff that Miss Kroll and I dealt with as parents in the 10 years that we were together. But over the last few months before I had his aunt get involved and pick him up, they had gotten much more extreme. They were getting worse at school, and they were getting worse here at the house again. And like I said, I want to make sure that he has the best opportunities available to him. It was not an easy decision for me to make. I still feel it's hard because we love him and care about him, all of us. And I know his mother does. But sometimes I believe that loving someone enough is giving them the right opportunity. And I want Bruno to have the best opportunities for the help he needs. Even if I can't give him that right now.
I'm totally capable of taking my son to appointments one-on-one. Cadron has 6 kids at her house, a full-time job and school.
Okay.
This doesn't even make sense.
And we may get to
I
that.
never had the opportunity to have my son.
All right. So let's go back. I'm going to appoint Sherry Farr as a court visitor. She's going to investigate and let me know about the situation with the parties. I'll say if Ms. Kroll is capable of taking care of her son adequately, then it's likely that the custody will stay with her. That's the way the statute is set up.
Absolutely.
But what I don't know is whether that's the case right now. Sherry Farr is going to help determine that. I'm going to leave Ms. Cutbirth in as the guardian, and so she has full authority until our next hearing. The next hearing will be on May 4th, and I'm happy to hear any response that Ms. Kroll has at that point. As I indicated, telephone and video visits
twice a week
can work. Yes, twice a week.
Okay.
I'm not ordering in-person visits at this point, just because I want some feedback from Ms. Farr before we get there.
Thank you.
Okay.
For the May 4th hearing, that's at 10:30 as well?
Yes, 10:30.
Perfect.
Thursday at 10. All right. Ms. Kroll, I understand you're frustrated with the wait, but I need to act in a way that makes sure that you're son is protected. And so I need to take these steps. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Have a great
We'll
day.
see you back here on the 4th.
Thank you.
On Cutbirth here at this point. Ms. Farr, have you been able to look into this case?
I've read the pleadings, Your Honor. I left a message for Miss Cutbirth.
She's in the waiting room right now.
Okay.
So let's bring her in. And I was just talking with Ms. Farr about what she has done at this point. So why don't you go ahead?
So I was saying I've reviewed the pleadings. I did leave a message for Miss Cutbirth. I haven't heard back from her yet. And I do not have contact for Mr. Peters or Miss Kroll. So if the two of you could please contact me. I don't have a phone number for either one of you.
I just got your email this morning, so.
Okay, so if you can get in contact with me as well, then we can move forward.
Yeah.
I was worried.
What?
I was worried about that because I didn't know if you had my number, and I was called the courthouse I thought he said Lisa. I was trying to get a hold of you because I wasn't sure if you were contacting us or the other way around. Yeah, so here we are.
Okay. So we can all make contact this week, hopefully, and we can move forward.
Well, I was going to say that me and all of us have kind of been able to talk over the last month since the last court hearing, and we were thinking Bruno's done good with his phone calls. I was hoping that as long as, and Shira agreed to do the UA, we talked about it, and as long as she could pass a UA, I'd be willing to kind of let this go and just have Bruno return to Shira. I think ultimately that's the goal anyway. I just wanted to make sure that, he's going to somebody who, just making sure she's clean. Other than that, I've been to her house. I know she has a place for him to go. So I don't know if there's a way to expedite it, but I know that Bruno's struggling with being kind of in limbo, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I talked to Bruno last night, and he was really expressing wanting to come back. And I had some good news. Like, I live with a roommate now, but I have a friend who's a private landlord, and he has a house available on 20th. It's a 2-bedroom home, not an apartment. And I can move in today and tomorrow. That'd be pretty cool to have him, help decorate it and set it up. Feel like it's really his home. It was really exciting news. He seemed really, I don't know what the look. He seemed defeated yesterday. He didn't say anything either way about anything, but he just, like she said, he's struggling with limbo.
Well, I will say that yesterday when he was talking to you on the phone, I didn't get a chance to talk to you afterwards, but he was on his tablet while he was talking to you. So yeah. He was kind of just going, like, you would be like, is everything okay? I wasn't like in the room. I was kind of doing my own thing, but you're like, is everything going okay? And he's like, well, I don't know. And he was kind of distracted on his tablet, if that makes sense.
It's he seemed depressed.
Yeah.
But the tablet, he let me know. He's like, well, he has to go because he wanted to play on his tablet. It's his nice escape. His kids love those tablets.
Okay, let me let you know the court's position on these cases. This isn't the first time that somebody's come in and said, well, on second thought, or we've been talking and we think we just want to dismiss it. The issue, though, is the court has now essentially taken jurisdiction over this. And so there needs to be some minimum work done to make sure that Bruno is going to be safe.
Bruno's going to be safe in my home, and nobody's come over to check it out. I've been waiting for 3 weeks now. Catherine's been invited over. I've tried to establish some sort of connection with her so she can see for herself how I'm doing. Nobody ever checked on me at any point in time to see what I'm doing, only assumed what I was doing. I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing.
The person that needs to check on all that is Miss Farr.
I know. It's been 3 weeks, and Bruno hasn't even seen me physically. He's seen me on the phone. This 3 weeks I could have been spending with my son. It wasn't even necessary. If somebody just reached out to me to let me know that this was.
Ms. Kroll, we're going to get to a place where we may dismiss this minor guardianship. I don't think being combative with me is going to be productive.
I'm not trying to be combative. Right? I'm just trying to see my son.
You are being combative, and it's not going to help your position. So I have an obligation to make sure that Bruno is going to be safe. Yeah. I know you feel you're in a safe place, but I need Ms. Farr to look into that. So Ms. Cutbirth has requested that you do a UA. If you could do that in the next couple of days and get the result to Ms. Farr. So that would be next couple of days means by next Monday.
Yeah.
And then if both Mr. Peters and Ms. Kroll could contact Ms. Farr by tomorrow, hopefully, so that she can set up an interview, come and see where you live, and then be able to report back to me. I will set the next hearing on May 25th, which is 2 weeks. And if everything looks good at that point, then we can consider dismissing this petition. And
Is there any
Bruno,
is there any way we can get physical visits? This is not fair to my son. This isn't fair to my son. That's the ultimate. He's wanting to see his mom. I haven't done anything at all. I'm not trying to sound combative. Everything I say, I feel like it's being taken wrong. This happened last time too.
If I may for a second.
I miss my kids.
all right, let's let Mr. Peter speak. Go ahead.
In fairness to us, he was left with us 8 months ago. Nobody told her, nobody told her to do that. She was struggling with substance issues.
Are you kidding me? I'm literally, I can't do this.
That is why he is here right now.
Kroll, just a minute.
That is why he is here right now.
He was with him and there's no contact order.
Stop. Ms. Kroll, you need to remain quiet while Mr. Peter speaks. All right.
He was left here and she says, nobody let me see my son. I said, nothing prevented you from filing for rights through the courts.
Besides trauma.
Nothing
Ms. Kroll, I'm going to mute you because you have a problem staying quiet. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Peter.
And she, all these things have happened and it's been a constant blame game and it's caused more problems for the child because he doesn't understand. And so he exhibits the same behavior because I have a mother that she doesn't want to cooperate. It's everyone else's fault. I didn't do any of this. I bear no responsibility. And it makes it really hard for the adults in the room to handle situations that need to be handled correctly when she's just it's constant. And it's combative, like you said, and it's that constant combativeness. That's what we're dealing with. And lack of responsibility for what she did. She was using narcotics in our home. I had to get a court order to ask her to leave. She became physically assaultive to me in our home, had to ask her to leave. She blames everyone. Anyone that isn't buying the narrative that she's spinning, she gets mad at and says, you're against me and you never wanted me to have my child. Nobody told her to drop him off here. I said I would help take care of him, but I didn't say so you could go further your drug career or go out there and keep using while I had him in my care, which is what she did for 4 months. And only now does she want to get it together and everything, is fine. And that's well and good. But we have a child here that's really been struggling because, he needs to see adults coexisting and getting along and have that kind of those healthy relationships in his lives.
Thank you. Ms. Kroll, if you want to unmute yourself, you may respond. There we go.
I'm having a really hard time with this. Seeing Brad in court, I'm not being dramatic. This is visible. These court cases, it's like our 5th one with no contact orders and lies. And I can't even, my heart starts racing. I don't want to see his face in court. I'm so bad that I didn't even contact anybody. This is traumatic for me. I have an intake appointment for counseling. This is ridiculous. I don't know how to say this and I'm not getting emotional about it. This is my children. Brad Peters, our relationship was traumatic for me. I didn't use narcotics in the home ever. I had used a few times.
Mr. Peters.
No, I'm not using it all now. And the way he says stuff, and you give him all this time to talk too, and you shut me down every time I talk. I don't know how to do this. Like if we should have a different judge or what, but I feel attacked. Nobody's seen the way I live. Nobody's seen any of that. And you're believing everything they're saying, and he's making faces. Did you see he wrote, I weighed 87 pounds on our court paperwork? Just that right there. It's abusive. I filed paperwork on him for coercive control in an intimate relationship and was supposed to file it again, and I didn't. I failed. I should have moved forward and had some backbone, and I got scared and didn't. And now I'm in a position like this where he has everything over my head. I haven't seen my daughter. He took my home, everything. I lost my job, and I'm not blaming everybody. That relationship was traumatic. And if I did everything he asked me to do, he would take me back in a heartbeat. He was never abused. One time I snapped after 8 years, and that whole year went by and he filed again. And you even denied his order. And then they got approved after 6 more days. It wasn't even changed. I couldn't even bring myself. Every time I thought about filling out paperwork, my heart starts racing and I panic. I don't want to be emotional. I just want to get to know my kids again and heal from this. I have a support system. I have my job I can get back. I have a place I can live. Everything. I'm healthy for my son. Nothing ever said I wasn't. Our relationship, he's making faces now. Our relationship was extremely toxic. His sister even ran around with me getting paperwork together and stuff and encouraged me. It was an emergency situation to get this file and get him out of the home. And I didn't do it because I couldn't do that to our kids again. And he did it before the drug use was even discovered. He was going to file it for abusing a vulnerable adult. And apparently he was a vulnerable adult I was abusing. And then that happened. And then he had a lot of ammunition. This isn't a thing where I'm just some deadbeat mom where I was running around using drugs instead of being home. I couldn't even be home because he'd fight with me every time I was home and harass me. I have police reports where even the kids wanted to call the cops. He was drunk harassing us. In the middle of the night, there's like 3 or 4 police reports of it. I don't have all that paperwork together. And if I was more organized, I would. I couldn't. And I don't want to say I couldn't as in like, it's not possible. It's like, I couldn't do it. I like froze. This is just seeing all the screens and everything. I'm not good in court, and I'm not good at making things sound like they are. And so they sound like they're not even a big deal. And I'm probably annoying and sound emotionally charged and the combative part. I'm not trying to be. It's a serious situation for me or my children. You know, I don't.
Left them here.
I wish I would have got a lawyer. I can't afford that. I can't organize how to say this where it was going to get, the goal I would like, instead of frustrating the judge or having Brad make these faces. I don't even see why he's in court. Kadrian came to my house saying that there was an emergency at the home and Bruno's been being harassed for the last, pretty much the whole time. And he's been treated like crap. Nobody told me any of that. Nobody reached out, messaged me on Facebook or anything and said, look, Bruno's having a really hard time. We can meet up and you can come get him. I can come see how you're living, anything like that. I didn't know until she was serving me that Bruno was having that hard of a time. I figured me being out of the home and no fighting, it would be different. I never would have left him had I thought that. And I definitely didn't want to be gone this long. I miss my home and my children. I had a whole life. This isn't what I want. And I definitely am not using drugs. I'm pregnant. I'm about almost 4.5 months pregnant. It's not my favorite thing right now. I want to focus on my kids, but sometimes things are a blessing. And I'm just doing the best I can. I don't know.
Can I take some time?
I'm not good at court.
All right, Ms. Kroll, I'm going to let Ms. Cuthbert address the court. Go ahead, Ms. Cuthbert.
That's fine.
So what I would like to say is that Bruno, putting the focus, I want to put focus on that. So Bruno has always struggled. We as a family have always known about Bruno's struggles. I know that Miss Kroll did file paperwork against Mr. Peters. I don't like using that. Okay, Shira filed paperwork against Brad. And I did encourage her and I helped her through that. And she made the decision to drop that. And that was her decision to do. She made the decision to drop Bruno off with Brad. That was her decision as well. And I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying that those are her decisions that she made. And what I'm trying to do personally with Bruno is support him and help him as a child. He's 10 years old. He's got obviously a lot of trauma around all of this. This entire situation has been very traumatic for him. He has expressed that he wants to see his mom. I wouldn't be against helping them facilitate a visit. I do live a very busy life. I have my own children and my own schooling and things like that, but I would be willing to help facilitate visits. I don't think that it really matters all the extra stuff, but I will say that I personally don't take responsibility for checking in on people when they're, doing whatever they're doing. I mean, the phone rings both ways, and I didn't not check on Shira. I just lived my life. So this is kind of aside from the point to me, in my opinion. Right now, we're here for Bruno. So what I want to see is reunification between Bruno and Shira in a way that's healthy. And it sounds like we're heading in that direction with Sherry helping to make sure that the situation is healthy for him. I think that that's exactly what needs to happen. I'm totally fine with facilitating maybe a once a week visit. I think that it would be important that there are that it's written out kind of specific as far as how the visits should go, just so that there's no room for wiggling. That way it's not any more stressful than it has to be, if that makes sense. I'd even be willing to do the visits. If Shira's getting a house, I'd be willing to bring Bruno over there and let him visit and see his room. And I think that that would be really healthy for him, as long as she's clean and doing what she's doing. And I'm not doubting that she is. I'm just saying I can't assume that she's not. I can't assume either way, I guess, if that makes sense. Just the same as I'm kind of taking the same position as the courts. It's really just about making sure that whatever's going on, Bruno's safe. I don't assume that Shira's using. I just can't assume that she's not too, I think. That's just how I feel about it.
All right. I appreciate everybody's comments. I need some additional investigation by Ms. Farr before I'm going to be comfortable with in-person visits.
Okay.
Apparently there's video or telephone that is going on now, and that should continue.
Okay.
I can't see my son.
Not between now and May 25th. when we're going to come back?
That's 2 more weeks.
That is 2 more weeks.
That's a long time.
Well, it's the time necessary for Ms. Farr to advise the court as to what's in the best interest of Bruno. And
his interest would be seeing his mom. I haven't done anything at all to say I'm a bad mom. And if you recall the last court date you saw Brad and I together, he had said clearly, Bruno's always welcome in the home. And if Sherry needs any time to sort herself out, that I'm here for him. And she could take as much time as she needs.
Mr. Peters, don't respond.
This isn't like, and Bruno would stop eating. He didn't want to take a shower. He didn't want to eat. He didn't want to be in other people's homes. And he wanted to see his brother and wanted to see his sisters. That's the only reason I took him home.
I made a decision after listening to everybody. I made a decision that I believe is in the best interest of Bruno. And that's what I'm going to.
Can we request a different judge for the next hearing? I don't feel like you even, like you get the smug look on your face, like you don't even like me. Or you think I don't even know what it is. And he's going off to laugh. I really feel uncomfortable. After the last court date and you already denied the same exact order and then you approved it. This said a whole thing. I have trauma with foster care. I have court. This is something that is a deep-seated traumatic thing for me. It's showing up in family court type stuff. I don't even understand it all the way. And then to be like,
if I may, Your Honor, and
I really wish I had it.
Ms. Kroll,
with me here.
If all 3 of you would call me as soon as this hearing is over, so I have phone numbers for everybody, we can get this moving forward as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Sherry.
Okay, that's the best way to go forward at this point.
Okay. So we'll see everybody back here on May 25th at 10:30. And
his birthday is on the 21st.
We'll be back here on May 25th at 10:30.
His birthday is on the 21st.
Okay.
Do I get to see my son at least on his birthday? That's
I need a report from Ms. Farr.
But that's why his birthday, he only gets one 11th birthday. There's no reason why I shouldn't see him, at least on his freaking birthday.
All right, Ms. Kroll, we're done here. Thank you. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
I want a different judge for my next hearing. How do I go about doing that? I'm not kidding. This isn't even.
You're not able to get one because.
Why?
Because I made a discretionary.
I don't feel like you're being impartial. I think that you have a feeling about me, and I'm not comfortable with this. His birthday, that's like not even. He deserves to see his mom, and I deserve to see him.
All right. Again, I made my ruling.
So that's in the best interest of Bruno not seeing his mom on his birthday is the best interest is what you feel. I want a different judge.
I need to hear from Ms. Farr.
And I'm not trying to be combative.
What? I'm sorry. What was the date again? May 25th
at 10:30, and his birthday is the 21st.
May 25th at 10:30.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be back here then. All right, thank you. That's
How do I proceed with getting a different judge? I know there has to be a way.
I can't advise you on that.
And this only annoyed you more, so you're not going to be partial at all. You're probably just going to grant guardianship. I don't want this.
Shira, I'm not.
I would have passed the UA on Monday, and it would have been dropped.
We're going to be back on the 25th. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to end.
And I know Ms. Kroll is here, Mr. Peters is here, and Ms. Cuthbert is here. There we go. So, Ms. Farr, I ordered Ms. Kroll to do a UA last time we were here. Did she provide any to you?
No, Your Honor, and I did receive a note from Performance Occupational Health that on May 12th, Mom went in to do a drug test. However, she had something shaped like a bottle in her pants and refused to take it out. So I believe that the court counts that as a positive. And Mom has communicated with me just recently, I believe yesterday, that she is unable to pay for a drug test. And that's why she hasn't gone back to get one done.
The next question is, I had ordered telephone or video visits twice a week. Have those been occurring? Ms. Cuthbert?
Yeah, for the most part, it's been a little bit, I've tried to work with her and she's tried to work with me. I'd admit that there's times when, I haven't been available on the days that we scheduled. Yesterday, she was supposed to have a phone call. She didn't call. I don't really know what happened with that. She didn't message me. I haven't heard from her. I attempted to give her a phone call on Bruno's birthday. That didn't work out. I talked to her, but we kind of got into it and I ended up blocking her on Facebook, but she does have my cell phone number and has contacted me since then on my cell phone. So I don't really know what happened with yesterday's phone call. there have been times where I haven't been available for a phone call, but I've also made it so that we make up the phone call later or on a different, or the next day or whatever. It's been kind of a little bit iffy and weird, but somewhat successful too. Bruno has had some contact with her.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Peters, any comment?
I think that me and my sister's goal here is to protect Bruno from any kind of imbalance in his life or having to be drugged through the system in any kind of way. But we are facing challenges with him, both of us. I know my sister has a lot of her own personal things that have come up in her life that she's dealing with that are a separate issue, and it's made it very challenging for her. And I will say she has been awesome in this process of helping with Bruno. And I think that we're kind of both at a place where we don't really know what to do. His behaviors have reached an extreme to the point of like, it's very stressful is what I can say. And we're trying to combat these behaviors the best that we can. But I think that he's acting out more because this has had a great effect on him, and he is trying to find some normalcy in all of this. And it's just been very difficult. I know that he does really want to see his mother a lot. And, I heard today that, being clean and sober isn't enough. And I got to agree with that statement. I think that it's so much more than that, what he needs. And I would ultimately like to see him and his mother reunited. But I don't, I'm just here taking care of him and being his dad, as I always have been. And no matter what the circumstances of my life are, I will continue to try to do everything I can to help this child. I have 2 daughters in my home, and his sister, his biological sister, Jocelyn, who's not just almost 8 years old. And she gets kind of scared sometimes when he acts out in the home. And I want to make sure that everybody feels okay, and make sure that everyone's needs are getting met. I had thought today about suggesting holding this over and filing for temporary guardianship myself, because my sister just can't do it anymore. And given a timeline of when he can be reunited with Miss Kroll. But I would have to know some sort of timeline.
Ms. Cutbirth, is that accurate that you're feeling overwhelmed with this?
Yes, I have, like he said, I did have some stuff come up this week that was unforeseen to me before now, obviously, and it's a major family stuff. And so I really am overwhelmed with this because I have other stuff that is involving my children and my husband and my immediate family. And so it's kind of become a lot for me. I think that Brad taking guardianship over Bruno might be a good thing, and I'm willing to help Brad in that endeavor. And support him through it. It's just that I need to be more of a support rather than the main person, if that makes sense.
All right. Ms. Kroll, do you want to first address what happened with the UA, and then tell me your thoughts on the telephone visits?
Yeah, I overthought the UA, and I started thinking about marijuana being a problem because I'm pregnant, and I went to actually fake my UA. And then I went back and went to go pay for one that was the UA and watched so that they'd see me, and that marijuana is going to be in my system. And I did my ID, and I went back. I went to the place probably 6 times altogether. And a friend was going to pay for the UA, and then he wasn't going to, and it just became a big thing. And I have an intake today at 2 for outpatient services, and the Phoenix House has openings. And I'm going to be enrolling back in PCAP to have extra support, just because the behavior behind trying to cover up is sneaky behavior. And there's a lot I can learn from going another round of outpatient. Bruno's perfectly suitable to be where I'm at. I'm willing to do, if there's a possibility to do UAs somewhere that's no cost to me, it would be easier because it's very expensive. And from what I heard, that neither one of them can do this with Bruno, and Bruno's very unhappy. He can't speak freely when I talk to him about it. And honestly, yesterday I thought,
Ms. Kroll, do you want to go on?
I don't know what happened with Miss Crawl, but I will say that I don't know if I'm able to speak right now or if we're waiting for Miss Crawl.
You can go ahead.
I just wanted to say that Bruno is not unhappy. I don't think that that's fair to say. I think he definitely wants to see his mom, and he's unhappy when he's being disciplined, because that is the main cause of the issues with Bruno, is that where we're struggling with his behaviors is around disciplinary action. So if he's asked to go and take a breather and decompress, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to continue. And I have him enrolled in counseling services to help with that. We're kind of addressing some anger issues. He's saying that he has a really hard time controlling his anger. And so those are things that I'm working with him through counseling on. I don't think it's fair to say that he's unhappy. He's very happy on a regular basis. I think there have been times when Shira had phone calls with him where he was in an elevated state. And so he maybe seemed unhappy, but that's because he wasn't listening and he wasn't he wasn't doing what he was asked to do. I think that he, hold on, I'm sorry, just one moment. Sorry, my son came to my door. My toddler wanted me.
Before you go on, I want to note that it looks like Ms. Kroll left the meeting. I'm not sure why, but I do want to continue this discussion. So okay. I understand your comment is he's not unhappy. So, Mr. Peters, it sounds like your intent would be to file for minor guardianship yourself at this point.
Yeah, but like I said, I want to create some sort of timeline with it if we can. Where Miss Kroll's getting the things done that she needs to get done, because honestly, this is exhausting for everybody. We have overextended and exerted ourselves to a level that it's just like has started counseling like a month ago, but when he has anger outbursts in the house, they affect everyone. And I have other children to worry about their safety. And he has expressed things like, I want to kill myself and I want to kill you. And I have other children to think about. He is 11.
Okay. Well, Ms. Kroll just indicated that she went to do UA and tried to fake it. Based on that, I'd say we're probably about at least a year away from her getting to a point where she can take him full time.
Yeah.
Is that a commitment you're willing to make?
At this time, I honestly, the most honest answer I can give you is I don't know.
Okay. Well, I think that's the consideration you may need to look at. And it sounds like, Ms. Cutbirth, you're not able to see yourself going forward with this.
I can't, with everything that I have going on. It's looking like I have a lot of family stuff, but I am willing to, if we can even do a continuance where Brad has a chance to kind of think about it and really, we talk about the solutions, because there are solutions with Bruno. He's not just a bad kid. He's just got a lot of stuff. And I think that some of those solutions include kind of figuring out some of his medical stuff. He has an appointment in July. I want to get him tested for some serious medical issues that his mom's never really been willing to address. And so I think that, if we are able to address some of that stuff and maybe get him the help that he really truly needs, I think that would benefit and make it a lot easier to manage Bruno. I think that he has these anger outbursts and he has these big feelings and he doesn't even have control over it sometimes. Yeah. And I think that that's a big issue. I do feel as though if those weren't if we were able to get some of his medical concerns under control, I do think that it would be that he would be manageable. Because when he's good, he's really great. He's such a sweet boy. And right now he's totally accepting he's gotten in trouble at school. And so he's home today and he's just down at the table doing schoolwork. He's doing what he needs to do. So some days it works, but it's just a matter of him being dealt with the way he needs to be dealt with. I think that being out of school over the summer is going to make things easier on him too. he's having a lot of problems at school, and that's been a big struggle for him. So I think that some of that is going, like, there's a lot of factors to it. But I think that if we had time, at least just even a week or two, to really talk about and discuss what we're going to be able to do moving forward, I think that that would be very beneficial.
All right. I want to
Absolutely.
hear from Ms. Farr, who's been listening to this conversation, and any thoughts from you?
Your Honor, I think, you know, what Ms. Cutbirth is saying, that he probably needs to be evaluated by a medical doctor for certain things and medicated if necessary. And it would help with his behavioral issues. I think he's got things that have not ever been addressed that need to be addressed. And there may be some other options that the family can explore through the state, getting help through other services to get him the help that he needs. My concerns with Mom are that I don't believe she is stable. And I would agree with you that we're probably several months to a year out from her proving herself to be able and to maybe parent at that time.
Right.
So, you know, I can try to help this family, give them some options that they can look into for other services through the state, to get Bruno the help that he needs, whether that means staying in their home or being removed and placed elsewhere, I don't know, but we can look into what all of those things might be.
What I'd like to do is put this out to June 22nd.
Okay.
And during that time, I'm going to extend the immediate emergency minor guardianship and leave Ms. Cutbirth the guardian during that
Okay.
time. If Mr. Peters decides that he's willing to petition, you need to get that petition in and hopefully get a hearing set on June 22nd also. But at a minimum, show up on June 22nd and let me know that that's in the works. And then
Yes,
Ms. Farr and we'll be in touch with both of you. Certainly as part of any order that I enter, I can create a requirements for Ms. Kroll to meet before there's visitation and eventually where she can have custody.
Yeah.
I guess the issue is if she doesn't meet those requirements, then where do we go from there?
Yeah.
But we certainly can enter an order like that. So,
Your Honor, I have one more question, if I may.
sure.
What, and I'm not saying that, you know, she should be unsupervised with him right now, because I don't think that would be a good thing. But what is the possibility of her getting some supervised visits with her son? And what?
Well, I'm not sure that I'm ready to order that right now. I think
Okay.
I want some input from Ms. Farr. What I understand is she at one point came to you with Bruno and said, you take care of him. And that was
she didn't
like,
even come to me. She just dropped him off on my doorstep with a note.
okay. So that happened. And there was, it sounds like from the file, 8 months where she had no contact with him.
Correct.
And he's 11. He wants to have contact, but we may need to have a special kind of counseling between the two of them.
Yes.
To reestablish that.
Sure.
And I need more input from Ms. Farr. Let me tell you, she's in the waiting room, so I want to admit her.
Sure.
Okay.
Good. It looks like it. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sorry about that. My phone died.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, it was stressful.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, so Ms. Kroll was indicating that she has an appointment for outpatient services, you know, and if she is accepted into that, then she'll be able to get UAs through them without paying privately. I believe her insurance should cover that at that point. But I also think that she, you know, needs to go through those services, get her the counseling she needs before we could even look at reunification counseling.
Can I finish talking?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. I apologize last week for my pretty much an outburst. That wasn't very fair, and I'm not really very good at court. Is there any way we can just continue this? I want to get in contact with PCAP and Jamie and have extra support. I don't feel like this is going in a way that it needs to be going. Bruno's behaviors and this is way too important for me to be doing on my own. I'm just not good at it at all in court. I'm a lot of emotionally charged with it. Very frustrated. I'm not getting along with, it's really hard. And my son's been suffering and I can't do anything at all to help him or reach out or be supportive other than phone calls. Yesterday, I thought today's Wednesday.
Ma'am, before you log back on, I had indicated I was going to continue this to June 22nd.
Is there any way that we can do in-person visits and have it supervised by somebody? It could be, I don't know right offhand in a second. I just don't feel very prepared. This is just sorry, my heart's like racing.
And
I don't.
So I do need some direction from the guardian ad litem. I haven't
got a chance to talk to her all the way.
I do need some result from a UA drug test.
Yeah.
Ms. Farr is right. If you're going into outpatient in the next week, they will take care of that. And so you'll be able to provide those. And that's I'm going to need that before I can make a decision about supervised visitation. And,
this is it's really damaging for him. He feels like he doesn't have anybody. He doesn't have a home or a place. He doesn't have any space at Caterings. Brad's indicated he's just a girl dad. He said, I've heard he can have guardianship until we figure out where Bruno's going with me. And I just, like, my heart, I want to reach out to him. I can't do anything for him. And there's been I don't even know what to say.
Well, I do want you to know that both Mr. Peters and Ms. Cutbirth are in favor of visitations with you, but I need additional information before I'm comfortable. So if you're going to be upset at anybody, you can be upset at me. And I'm going to have to leave the telephone calls and video visits in place until June 22nd. Hopefully we know a lot more on June 22nd and we can make provisions for visitation at that time. Okay.
I don't understand this. Nothing's ever been proven at all. And it's just, the kids are just suffering. I'm suffering. Yeah. My son's struggling and I can't do anything for him.
I don't know if I can ease her mind by saying that, like, Bruno's not suffering. Bruno is struggling.
He's suffering. If it makes you look bad, I'm sorry, but he's suffering. He's not at home anywhere. He has no space at all at your house.
He does actually have his own room.
Let's not talk.
You don't want to do that, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I do want to know what I can do for Bruno in regards to, I am very careful not to talk to him about anything going on with this court case, but every time he gets mad, he says, "You're not letting me see Mom. This is all your fault." So I don't really know how to communicate with him, and I just tell him, "No, buddy, there's court system in place that's preventing that right now, and that I'm doing my best to kind of."
Well, you can tell him that's what the judge ordered at this point. Okay.
I'll just, that's kind of what I've been saying, but I'll keep.
Why can't I see him? There's no proof at all. If I had a lawyer, this wouldn't be going this way. I feel like I'm being ran over.
All right. I think we've discussed this, and I'm going to put it over to June 22nd. I hope everybody's in touch with Ms. Farr. I would like to consider some type of visitation on June 2nd. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, June 22nd, right? Not June 2nd.
I'm sorry, June 22nd, if I misspoke.
Okay. That's okay. I just wanted to double make sure.
All right. That's a Thursday at 10:30 on Zoom, just like today.
Yeah. Your Honor, I don't want to eat up any more of the court's time, but I would like to say one last thing too. Bruno has a bedroom here at his home that he's always had with all of his toys, and we have normal family life. We have normal family life and do normal family activities when he is here. The biggest issue that Bruno is struggling with.
Mr. Peters, your comments are just making things worse at this point.
There's a lot of trauma revolving around me and Brad. I can't do this with court and listen to Brad every single time. I just can't do it.
We're okay. We'll see everybody back on June 22nd.
Thank you.
Is with Isaac the name Isaac Kirkpatrick.
That's what we're noticing. I'm not sure why she's not responding, but so last time we were here, let me start with Ms. Cutbirth. You indicated that you did not want to continue as the guardian. Is that still your position today?
Yes, I love him and he's a sweet boy. He's got a lot of stuff and I have 5 kids and it's just not working in our house. But I did help me and Brad work together to get his paperwork done. When we went in to file it, they told us that it would be a whole new case and that we would have to pay the filing fee and all the things. I thought that it was just filling out a new petition and just turning it in to have you look it over. But the the people at the courthouse told me that I couldn't do that.
Okay. So were you able to file it, or you have to come up with the filing fee?
No, we weren't able to file it. We didn't have the filing fee. I didn't realize that we would have to do all that.
Hey, Mr. Peters, given what you ran into in the clerk's office, what's your position of filing at this point?
I would like to file for guardianship, but we're going to need a little more time. Bruno's safe right now between me and Cadron's still helping with certain things, but we feel like we've got him in a direction that's a lot more positive. He's being seen by his counselor and he saw his doctor yesterday, and we've got some medication going. So we've been able to, combine our efforts and still continue to care for Bruno. And I don't have a problem. I would very much like to take over the guardianship role until his mom can get a few things in place. Now, I have heard that his mother does have a treatment intake and that she is going to go and do an outpatient assessment and that she is currently in counseling. I hope these things are true, because that's definitely steps in the right direction. And I would very much like at some point to work with mom, get some things taken care of, and eventually have her functioning in the children's lives again. Back in their lives. That's the goal.
Has there been any contact since we were last together
With
Ms. Kroll?
No, not to me. No.
Okay.
I've just heard mutual friends.
She's had a couple of phone calls with the kids. I don't think she's had very much success with trying to stay on a schedule with them, but I know that she's had a few of the I know that she's had contact with Bruno. I think maybe twice, right? Brad, you would know better. How many times has Tyra?
No, I think more times than that, but I think maybe 3 or 4 times, but I know that very little, but from what I do understand, she is trying to stabilize her situation and get back on her feet and make some better decisions. So I know that this time has been really challenging for her. I do believe she is on the path to making better decisions and getting some things done. And I know that those things can be challenging when you're trying to, when you made choices and your life's kind of out of order and you're trying to get it back together. So I do believe she's trying.
Ms. Farr, have you had any contact with the parties here?
No, Your Honor, I haven't had contact with any of the parties since the last hearing. I did not know that there was a doctor visit or medications prescribed. This is all new information.
The doctor visit was just yesterday. So what happened specifically is that Bruno did have kind of a he had an issue where he was doing threats of suicide, and feeling kind of overwhelmed with his emotions. We got, Brad got emergency services brought to the home so that Bruno could speak with them about how he was feeling. He said he wasn't suicidal, he was just upset, and that, he was safe and happy, or not happy, but you know what I mean. He's safe and he knows that he's in a good place. He, after that visit, they left and he ended up having another issue. I took him to the hospital because that's what they had suggested that we do if he had mentioned suicide again. I took him to the hospital. He was evaluated by a doctor and a social worker. They determined that he wasn't suicidal, that he just has big feelings, and that he was very low risk, and that he didn't need outpatient or inpatient at the time, that they could just do intensive outpatient. So I brought him home. They scheduled him an appointment just like a day later or 2 days later with his primary, which he already needed to see her for a well child check. So he did see the primary. The medication that she prescribed is very non-invasive. It's really, she said that she wants him to see a psychiatrist to get an actual diagnosis before there's any medications really prescribed. But the medication that she did prescribe, I can't remember what it's called because I just found out about it yesterday, but it's really just a medication that kind of, the way the doctor explained it is that it takes him from, if he's in the green zone, instead of jumping right to the red zone where his whole world is on fire, it gives him an opportunity to be in that yellow zone where he can think things through. It just gives him time to think, basically. And it makes it easier for him to process through his emotions, or gives him more time to process. He's on a very, very low dose of it right now.
When do you think you'll have your petition filed, Mr. Peters?
I would say that I could have it done within, it's Wednesday today. I would like to say by early next week, I could get something before the court. If I have to file a whole new order and what they're talking about, and I mean, it does take time. And between Cadron and I know that we could probably figure it out. Our schedules are kind of busy as we are always dealing with the kids. So I would like to say that I could have something done by early next week.
Okay. Ms. Kroll, are you able to hear us? I'm going to put this over 3 weeks to July 13th. I want everybody to be back on that date. Hopefully the new petition will be filed, and if it's not before me, I'll at least be able to look at it. On the resources we have. And Ms. Cutbirth, are you okay being involved at least 3 more weeks?
I mean, yeah, I'm Brad has been helping a lot with Bruno, and honestly, he has him. I try to just check in and things like that, but if anything major happens, I tend to take the reins just because I feel like that's my responsibility. But he does better over at Brad's than he does at my house sometimes, and sometimes he does better over here than he does there. So we're not ping-ponging him, but we're
doing
kind of
what we've been doing. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ms. Farr, I'd like you to stay involved in this case, and if we could be back in 3 weeks, then I'll extend the immediate emergency minor guardianship until the 13th.
And
then we'll go from there. Go ahead.
I have two questions. Should Brad file the immediate order? Could he just skip and go straight to guardianship? I know that mom may have expressed possibly being interested in just kind of allowing that or something. If she was willing, should we just file that instead?
If she was willing and would sign a consent, then you could go straight to a guardianship.
Okay, is it consent through the courts, like a form through the courts, or is that just a written consent?
If you go to Washington court forms under guardianships, I think there's a form in there that you can print off.
Okay, perfect. And then for future medical stuff, I apologize if I was supposed to contact Sherry. I wasn't sure. So if I need to, I will, though. I don't know if that's something that...
Between now and when we come back on the 13th, I think if there is any medical going on, you should probably let her know.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Guardianship of Brunswick Swarenson, cause number 2340013608. Anyone here in the matter of Brunswick Swarenson?
Yes, Your Honor. Where my sister, who is the current guardian of Brunswick, is trying to get on right now. I am his stepfather, I guess you could say. I've been with him since he was 18 months old.
Okay. Well, if you know she's trying to get on, then I'm just going to wait one moment then.
Okay.
And I'll call a different case. Just give me 1 second here.
Thank you.
Right. And then I have Brunswick Swarenson, 2340013608. All right. And is it Cutbirth? Am I saying your last name correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
My first name's Kadrin.
Kadrin. All right. That's a neat name. Okay. And then Mr. Peters is here on this matter as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Farr is here. So, okay. This is what I gathered from my review of the record. Miss Cutbirth was essentially wanting to withdraw from the guardianship as primary custodian, and Mr. Peters was going to step in as primary custodian and file a petition.
Yes.
Yes.
I see that, and so I saw that there was a review on the 22nd in front of Commissioner Nelson. It was set over today for Ms. Cutbirth to file her petition to terminate, and for Mr. Peters to sign or to file his motion to become custodian. And I have the termination petition for Ms. Cutbirth. I have nothing from Mr. Peters.
The commissioner actually set it over for the 16th, and then I went ahead and filed paperwork instead. The issue being that I was not able to serve Ms. Kroll for this specific, for the relinquishment. It was actually set over for next week, though.
Okay, I see that. You're correct. So Mr. Peters has until the 13th. Okay.
Yeah. There was a petition filed this morning. It went in. I tried to get it done yesterday. I got the waiver of deferral fees done yesterday, but the actual petition for emergency guardianship was filed this morning. We do have a case number on that.
Okay.
Yeah, the case number is 23400255508. That all did happen. I am willing to wait until next Thursday for the 16th for court. That way it would give time for the paperwork to be kind of put into circulation, and that way Bruno doesn't have to go through any foster care systems. I don't want to see that happening with him.
Okay. And it appeared that there were some concerns with you working with Mr. Peters and Mr. Peters working with you? Are you guys going to be fine over the next week?
Yeah.
We have resolved that issue. It was a big misunderstanding.
Good.
My
Okay.
biggest concerns, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Your biggest concern
is that we can't find Shira to serve her. She is currently, she has a warrant out for her arrest. From my understanding, I just found out about that like this morning. But we can't find her to serve her. She has gone MIA. I tried calling her even on her cell phone, and I told her I needed to have her served with paperwork, and she said she would meet up with me, and then she never did. And her phone, I don't know if it's disconnected. I haven't been able to contact her on her phone number or anything. I do have an email for her. I just don't know if we're allowed to serve paperwork through email.
Okay.
I mean, I know we are, but I know we have to have permission from her, but
okay.
I can't contact her to serve her.
All right. Ms. Farr, any
Yes, Your Honor.
weigh in here?
Yes, Your Honor. So if Mr. Peters is granted the emergency guardianship, which I would assume he would be, I haven't seen the paperwork. I don't know what reasons were put down, but if he is granted the emergency guardianship, then I will help, and I'm appointed to that, which I'm assuming I would transition over into that case. Then I would help him with service. As the court is aware, there are different options, and I would go over what those options are with him at that time. I didn't know that the parties had resolved the issues between them and are now getting along well enough to help Bruno for another week. So I think that that's fine if that is accurate information. And then, hopefully the court approves the emergency guardianship today for Mr. Peters so that Bruno can be protected.
I do think that if we filed it today, it's 5 court days. So that would be next Tuesday. We go to court again before the 16th, or would we just go to court on the 16th?
I don't know what you filed. So I don't, I don't know what, nobody has sent me copies of anything. I don't know. Was it for an immediate?
Yeah, it was
order?
Just an immediate order for emergency temporary guardianship.
The criminal history was done and submitted with that paperwork too.
Okay. Here's what Madam Clerk, is there a possibility, since this matter's set for the 16th, the 13th, next Thursday, is there a possibility if that paperwork comes through, we can set it for the 13th so we can kind of try to deal with everything at once, regardless of service at this point?
I think we can. I'm under the impression, though, that the emergency order already went back ex parte, so it might be in a judge's hands currently. But if you want, I can try to look for it and put that date on there.
I will, as soon as we're done here, I'll go check the box that stuff comes back to us in, and try to grab it if it's there. And assuming both parties, I understand the service, and I can't unfortunately give you legal advice on the service. There are, but it sounds like maybe if you contacted Ms. Farr, she has some information for you. But I'll try to look through that. And if Mr. Peters and Ms. Cutbirth don't have an issue with trying to get the newly filed case onto the 13th for at least its first time in court to at that point in time, then I'll try to make that happen and find that order wherever it is this morning.
Okay. Yes, that's fine. And if I may, we waited to get copies until they had made a decision on signing it or not. And so when we get those copies, we'll have those copies made if we go pick it up and it's signed, and then make sure we get that stuff to Ms. Farr right away.
Please, that's super important. So I appreciate that.
Sure, of course.
That way I can make sure that the proper orders are before the court for
Sure.
next week.
And I apologize. We're balancing like busy schedules, and I know that's everybody. And I just we did what we needed to do, and it was all filled out correctly, and everything done the right way. So
When
I appreciate your time.
I appreciate that you guys have worked out your problems, B, that you're trying to help this little guy that
Absolutely
needs the help. And I lastly understand how difficult it can be for non-attorneys to try to wade through this process. I will just kind of again say Ms. Farr is an amazing resource to have, and any questions or concerns, she should probably be one of the first points of contact, because if she doesn't have the answer, she knows how to point you where you can get the answer.
Excellent.
Right?
Okay.
And I'm sorry. One last thing is, I don't know about service for Shira, but I know that she is aware and was in court on our last court appearance. So she does know that we have court on the 16th. That is something she's aware of. So.
And there hasn't been any phone calls, nothing coming through for Bruno. No contact.
Okay. Okay. Well then, by agreement, it sounds like we'll set this to the 13th at 10:30. Get the copies. I'll find the paperwork. We'll get the date set for the 13th, and please make sure you get Ms. Farr copies of everything.
Absolutely.
Sure. And can I ask one more question, Your Honor?
Sure.
So would they still call me today to come pick up the paperwork if it's signed and done, or will I just wait until we have court on the 13th?
I'm going to ask the clerk. I'm assuming that they let you know once you can pick up.
Yep. Okay.
Is that correct, Rhiannon?
It is correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, you'll still get a phone call.
Okay.
So
Great.
Your Honor, it sounds, just for clarification, it sounds like you're not, that you don't want the immediate order put in place, that you just want it to be heard on the 13th for the petition to replace for the emergency guardianship.
That's a good question, because if I sign the order as an emergency minor guardianship, that essentially then we have potentially competing orders with Ms. Cutbirth, and we haven't fully kind of closed the loop. So I'm going to look at the paperwork, and what I'm going to do, since we already do have a guardianship in place, and it sounds like Ms. Cutbirth is good for the next week. I'll probably just set it for review on the 13th and not sign off on that immediate minor guardianship, Mr. Peters. And that's not me denying it. It's just delaying it, just so we can handle everything at once.
Understood.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
And
Thank you for bringing that up, Ms. Farr.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. You will also have to sign an order extending Ms. Cutbirth's until that date today.
Oh.
She's actually already extended to the 13th.
Yeah, it is extended through the 13th.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. I will go track down that order, and then we'll see you all back on the 13th at 10:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Good luck. All right. I believe that concludes.
We have parties appearing on that matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir. Anyone else appearing on that matter?
Yes.
All right.
I'm here too.
All right. I see you there, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. So there was a motion filed to end the guardianship, and let me pull up that. And so, all right, and I see you there, Mr. Peters. And so, Mr. Peters, I'll let you go first.
Okay, well, I believe we filed the motion for emergency guardianship to transfer that guardianship from my sister back to me. And then all the other paperwork that needs to be filed for the permanent guardianship is done and will be submitted today.
Okay. And Ms. Farr, are you working on that matter as well?
Well, I haven't been appointed to it, but I would assume that I would be. So I will need an order appointing guardian ad litem on that one. So the situation is that we were just waiting for Mr. Peters to get his documents filed. The Judge Bassett put on hold signing the immediate order appointing him until today. So we need to get that order signed to get him in place, as well as get the previous case terminated where Ms. Cutbreath was appointed as the guardian.
Okay. And so I will go ahead and appoint you, Ms. Farr, in this matter. That makes sense. And it seems like you're already facilitating some efforts between getting the child transferred. Where's the child currently residing?
He currently resides with me.
Okay. And your request is for him to be placed with Mr. Peters?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Peters, it sounds like you have a lot of the paperwork ready. It just hasn't been filed yet.
It's all ready to go. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to come down today and get it filed.
Okay.
Your Honor, he filed the emergency petition.
I did do that.
He just hasn't filed the permanent petition. And the reason I was guiding him to get that done is so he only had to serve mom once with both. Yeah.
Seems reasonable. Okay. So what the court's going to do at this point, and sir, did you propose a order? No. Okay. So what I need is an order that would actually transfer the child from Ms. Cutbirth to you, sir, and I don't have that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the matter over, but I don't want it to go out far. So I'm going to set the matter over just 1 week so that you can file the paperwork that you said is all ready to go. And 2, so you can propose an order placing you with the child. And then that way we're not sort of transferring the child when one person technically has guardianship and then but is living with you. We kind of end up in this weird in-between land that isn't very effective for the child or either of you.
Sure.
So I'm going to have you get that paperwork filed, propose an order to the court that places the child with you in the immediate guardianship case. And I'm just going to set it over 1 week. So that gives you a very short timeline to get that all done. So the paperwork you said is ready to go, better be, because it basically does need to be filed today. It takes a little bit of time after you file for your paperwork to actually, it gets scanned and then put into my system so I can see it.
Sure.
But I think that's the most responsible thing we can do to make sure that the child's transfer is as smooth as possible.
Okay.
Your Honor, you
Yes,
should
ma'am.
have the immediate order there in front of you. It was presented to the court with the emergency filing, and Judge Fassett said she pulled it from ex parte to hold on to it.
Judge Fassett signed that order saying that it was going to be dealt with today. So that order has already been scanned and signed.
Got it.
Okay, so he just needs to present another immediate order that can be signed ex parte. Could we do it ex parte instead of another hearing?
I'm fine with doing it ex parte. So if you can submit that order, it can be signed ex parte. It should just reference the fact, make sure it references the fact that the child's being transferred to Mr. Peters. Sounds like that's going to be cooperative, so I don't mind it not having real specifics about that. But that the case with Ms. Cutbirth then is being dismissed by agreement.
Okay, I'll help him with that. And they've been sharing custody of the child, basically. When I say custody, I mean physical custody. The child's been going back and forth, so that's not an issue.
All right, very good. I don't have any issue with that being signed ex parte off the record. With that, we don't need a further hearing next week. I do want to make sure, though, that we proceed effectively. So as far as a review, Ms. Farr, do you have a recommendation?
I do. So once he files the regular petition, then a hearing will be set to be heard on that, which is usually 2 or 3 weeks out. So that'll automatically trigger from the clerk's office.
I want to set a hearing, though. I don't want to just have a immediate order without any sort of review.
We would set it by based on the immediate order that's being signed.
Okay.
And we would need a hearing to enter the emergency order once mom is served.
Yes, so I still do need it. So I think that probably having a hearing next week is still reasonable. So I'm still just going to put it on next week, but you can submit the order in advance of that hearing so that the transfer of the child can be effectuated.
Okay.
Or completed. And then we'll just sort of start reviewing where we are as far as service on the parents under Mr. Peters' petition.
And then, Your Honor, were you going to prepare the order appointing me, or did you want me to do that and email it to your JA?
Oh, if you would prepare that and send it to the JA, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
Are we sending both case numbers over or just Mr. Peters to next week?
I'm going to set both case numbers over next week, just so that the court reviews, make sure that that order got entered that dismisses Ms. Cutbirth's petition. And I just want to have tracking on that.
For the final or for the regular minor guardianship, not the temporary one, does Mr. Peters have to have me served, or can he just serve the mom?
You can just, Ms. Farr can help you with that piece of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
very good. Anything further from you, Ms. Farr, on this matter?
I think that's it, Your Honor. I think you covered everything.
All right, very good. Anything further from you, Mr. Peters?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anything further from you, Ms. Cutbirth?
No, thank you.
All right, appreciate everyone's time. Work on sort of those cleanup matters so we can.
Brunswick is the 255 cause, which I think is the focus of today. And then Bradley Peters is here. Mr. Peters has been patiently waiting this morning. So Mr. Peters, can you hear me okay? Okay, I saw your mouth move and I think you said yes, Your Honor, and it was just muted at the time. So just make sure that you can unmute because we had some issues with somebody.
I'm here, Your Honor. Thank you.
Perfect, great, thank you. All right, and it looks like, is it Cateron? Is that how you pronounce your name, Cateron?
Adrian.
Cadron, thank you. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good name. That's a great
Thank
name.
you.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay, and then Ms. Farr is present, and then Shira Kroll. Is she on the line today?
I'm here. I got a background going on my thing. It's distracting me.
That's okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, and then
I'm just
Scott.
gonna stop the video. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so with that, with those introductions, there was an order of July 19th of this year that transferred the child to the care and custody of Bradley Peters, and noting him as the guardian, and Ms. Farr was discharged as a court visitor and reappointed as guardian ad litem. And I think we're on today, and the parties can correct me if I'm mistaken, that we're here on an order to show cause why Mr. Peters should not continue on as the guardian. I think that's why we're here. Ms. Farr?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, that's correct. And then also to dismiss the 136 case.
Right. Okay. And the 136. Is there any objection to the dismissing of the what we call the 136 case? That's the yeah. So, Mr. Peters, do you have any concerns related to that?
I'm a little confused about the dismissal of guardianship.
Yeah. Ms. Farr, maybe you can just provide a little background on why you think that's appropriate.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. So initially, Ms. Cutbirth was appointed as the immediate under the immediate order as guardian. She's decided that she cannot go forward. Mr. Peters has filed a petition so that he can become the guardian. And service has been made on mother under Mr. Peters' filing. And so now we are looking at dismissing the first case under that was filed from Ms. Cutbirth, and then continuing on with the second case where we would be appointing Mr. Peters.
Thanks.
Okay. I understand.
Perfect. Good. Thank you, Ms. Farr, for that explanation. And also the clerk just handed me a note that another judge had already dismissed that prior to our coming today. So that's already taken care of. So we're good there. And that may not have already been filed.
Okay. I thought that we were doing that today, but could be wrong.
Yeah, looks like somebody got a jump start on that. So that the 136 is dismissed. So that takes care of that particular discussion. So thank you for that.
Okay.
And then we're on today for the related to whether Mr. Peters should continue on as the guardian. I'll hear from the parties related to that. Maybe Ms. Farr, if you'd like to lead out, I'll hear from you first, then Mr. Peters, and then from Ms. Kroll.
Okay, Your Honor. So, this is a matter where the child has been living with Mr. Peters for the better part of the last year. And mother is having some struggles. She has some drug addictions, homelessness, and there's currently a warrant for her arrest. And so the child is in Mr. Peters' care and should remain there while mother improves her situation. And so for that reason, the emergency guardianship should be entered and Mr. Peters appointed as the emergency guardian.
Okay.
This child has some special needs, some mental health issues, and needs immediate counseling and treatment. And Mr. Peters has been working with Miss Cutbirth. Miss Cutbirth and Mr. Peters are siblings. They've been working together to get this child the help that the child needs.
Okay, great.
And then also, just so you know too, because you're new on this one, that the father is deceased.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Farr. Okay, thank you. Let me touch base with Ms. Kroll. Ms. Kroll, you've heard what Ms. Farr's position is. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on it are that I haven't been keeping close contact with Sherry. I have kind of hit a depression. Like, I feel like anything I do or say in court's been gone backwards. I'm having a problem making appointments and keeping them. I'm not having a problem with a drug addiction as far as like what they're thinking. I do smoke weed and drink every once in a while. I mean, it's like I'm not doing good with this court thing at all. It's just gone on and on. Me and Brad's relationship was completely toxic. The thought of hearing him talk after I'm done talking, my heart's like literally racing. I've had a trauma response to all this. My son needs me. I haven't had a visit with him. We started court in April 7th. I got served. I think I had court. And I haven't gone very far at all with anything I need to be doing. I've had places I'm staying that didn't work out. I haven't been able to see my kids at all. There was a no contact order issued between me and Brad, which makes a lot of things impossible. Through all this, I've lost my full-time job. I've lost pretty much everything that I was doing is just all different. I don't know how to. I have a friend who's going to help me get a lawyer. Bruno being with Brad and Kadrian. I need outside help. This isn't working out at all. And it's just, I feel like it's just digging me a deeper hole. I don't even know what to say. I haven't even seen Joss in so long. My other daughter. I don't feel like I'm not even saying the right stuff right now that I need to be saying that's most important. I even went as far as to I don't know. Bruno's really depressed. Every time I talk to him, he's miserable. He can't talk. I've gotten maybe 10 minutes at a longest phone call. I don't ever have video chat. I never know where Bruno is between Brad and Kadrian. Kadrian says that Bruno's not in a good place being with him. It's been torture, all these things that are opposite to what I'm hearing in court. They don't say anything against each other, but outside of court, it's completely different. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of things said about me after I'm done talking for saying that. I feel completely isolated from everything. I've been in my kids' lives for 10 years straight. And this isn't going well. I haven't even met with Sherry personally. I've talked to her on Zoom once. She's just heard what Brad said. Brad currently has an open CPS case for Sam got going. The kids aren't as happy as he makes it seem. Both of them have gone to the hospital for emergency. They're saying they're suicidal. Sam ran down and had called and had committed herself to the hospital. He drinks a 6-pack a day of alcohol. He's alcoholic. That's worse. I mean, I have records of him, us having to call the police for him harassing the family. There's, court paperwork from us having our no contact order before. Declarations where, everything's completely. I have like 9 declarations from people stating character. I've never had the cops called on me in our home. I don't even know where to start with all this. And the court's just going worse and worse. you know, I even went as far as to tell the other judge he had a smirk on his face. Like, not doing good at this at all. I'm hoping this lawyer will help, so I can have somebody advocate for me. And it's like I'm not even going towards resources like I should be. I'm just feel like I'm frozen. I just miss my kids, and I don't want to have me and Brad have a relationship just to have a relationship with my kids. This isn't even about me being a danger to the family, which I've never been. This is more about controlling me and having me commit or submit to and come home. I've been asked to come home so many times, and every time I disagree, court just goes uglier. I'm not willing to come home to have the same type of fights in front of our children. The last thing in the world I want to do is for them to hear one more fight and vile things said. And my son should be with me. I didn't even mean for him to be left at the house. I had 6 days till court, and I missed a court hearing in September. And then I went to the next one, and things were already approved. I didn't even realize I missed a court date. And I've just been, I don't even know, lost ever since. I thought he was doing good. I'd call the school. I tried to go get him a couple times. They didn't send him to the office. Things aren't going according to, this wasn't even a plan. I never planned on being out of my home. The system was used against me, and I'm just out here not moving forward. I haven't even kept my counseling appointments like I meant to. I can have an assessment. They're not going to recommend treatment. I don't have, I've had treatment experience. I don't know. Thank you for letting me talk. Would have been cut off a long time ago by now. Usually. I don't know how to move forward with this without, I don't know how to move forward with this. I've done CPS before, but I've never done court like this. And I even missed court on purpose last time. I couldn't do it. And the time before that, I couldn't even unmute it.
So, Your Honor, I'd like to just add a couple things so that you have a broader picture. So Ms. Kroll and Mr. Peters were residing together. They have another child together. And that's when Ms. Kroll, there was some issues between the two. There is some drug issues. And Ms. Kroll left the home about a year ago, and Mr. Peters has had Bruno since.
That's not true. Bruno was with me. Bruno was with me, and he wanted to go home. He was failing to thrive. He wasn't wanting to eat. He wasn't wanting to sleep. He wasn't wanting to take a shower or anything at anybody else's homes. I was having to find places to stay because I was kicked out of my home while I was at work. I was served. Bruno would stay with me at the hotel while I was working. Luckily, they would let me. I only sent him home because I had 6 days till court, and he really missed his sisters, and he missed his dad. And when it didn't get approved, it was really hard to get him back out of the house. And last time I tried getting my son out of the house, Brad actually called the police, making a huge scene like I was kidnapping my son. He made a huge scene until I agreed to stay, and then he hung up the phone. There's a lot more going on than just mom has a drug problem. Mom tried to fake a UA, and it made it look really bad. I had weed and alcohol in my system, and I'm pregnant. So did it do me any good? No. Did I get caught? Yes, which is what happens every time I try doing anything like that. I haven't done anything to prove otherwise.
Yeah, Ms. Kroll, thank you. Thank you for that input. Go ahead, Ms. Farr.
Yeah, so the court had ordered a UA, and Ms. Kroll is being honest. She did try to fake it, and so that counts as a positive, and there hasn't been any attempts for a UA since that I'm aware of. Her and I did have one Zoom. We had scheduled follow-ups, but we haven't had any follow-ups. And so, I only have some initial information from her. What I do have, the information that I do have, it has been provided by Mr. Peters and Mr. and Miss Cutbirth. So this is a guardianship matter. It's not a dependency case. There's no resources offered to parents in these cases. And so it's just not going to be what Ms. Kroll expects. And that it is unfortunate that there are no resources to get parents help, but that's just the way these cases go. So we're in a situation now where we have to get an emergency guardian appointed so that there is authority for someone to make healthcare decisions and keep this child safe from harm and provide for this child until we get further into this investigation.
Bruno
And
had a
that person
meltdown and
should
Brad
be
sent him to the emergency room to be
Peters.
evaluated for suicide like an adult. These are the type of decisions I
May
don't want made
I,
for my son. And they
I,
put him on medication without telling me anything
Hold
about
on,
it.
Mr. Peters. Yeah,
I
so
don't
I
feel
want to
comfortable
make sure we
making
have
decisions.
I apologize. I just want to make sure we have an orderly discussion.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure that, when one person finishes, that they feel like they've finished. And so I think Ms. Farr had a few things to finish. She was just finishing up. And
Yeah.
so why don't you go ahead and finish up, Ms. Farr?
Yeah.
And so that is true. Miss Bruno has gone to the emergency room, and it was the appropriate thing to do. He was in a mental health crisis. The mental health crisis team was called, and he received the treatment that he needed. It got him started to get some mental health care. So Mr. Peters is the one that initiated that.
Brad was drinking and got him riled up.
So Ms. Kroll,
at this time, we just need to get the emergency guardian appointed, and that would be Mr. Peters.
Mm-hmm.
And then this investigation will continue. I will be in touch with Ms. Kroll, and Ms. Kroll needs to get her UA completed and comply with the court's orders before visitation could be put in place.
That UA place said that they would, if the courts were willing to cover the cost, they have to email them or get in touch with them. That was an option too. Otherwise, I'd pay the $60 and it's $80 to be watched, like the watch UA, or $60 just to go in. It's just really expensive for me.
And that's what I was saying with Kroll. And unfortunately, these cases don't have the ability to provide resources to parents. These are tasks that the parents have to take on themselves to improve themselves, to show that they can parent.
Okay. All right. Thank you both. I appreciate that input. Mr. Peters, you wanted to make a brief comment?
I'm not gonna sit and defend myself on any of these allegations. My 17-year-old daughter, who I've had custody of for over 11 years, I got custody of her from Oregon and brought her here, and she has been suffering from anxiety and depression from other things, from a boyfriend, from her boyfriend breaking up with her after prom, that sort of thing. And she has received the right treatment for that, as well as Brunswick did. So moving on from that, there hasn't been, I don't know what she's saying about trying to contact Bruno, because yesterday was the first time she's called him in a month. And that is not good for him. That's what's really not good for him. This in and out, never knows where mom's at. Nobody knows where she's at. Nobody knows what she's doing, because she doesn't think she has to check in or be responsible. And we are responsible for our own lives and what we're doing. And these children don't have a choice.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Peters. Ms. Cutbirth, do you have any input?
Yeah, I would just say that Bruno is being taken care of. He does have special needs, and I wouldn't think that it's fair to say that he's miserable or depressed. He is. Miss Shira said that, she can't talk to him. She talked to him yesterday for 10 minutes on the phone. I felt like 10 minutes was appropriate because she hadn't talked to him in over a month.
It has not been a month.
Excuse me, I'm talking. It has been over a month. She's missed every phone call for a long time. Also, I'm just saying that I felt like 10 minutes was appropriate. He did get privacy. He was able to go into his bedroom, or he chose to go sit on the landing at the top of our stairs, which is totally fine too. And when she did speak with him, or when she does speak with him, she's only getting snippets of how it's going, because she's not communicating with other people to find out how he's doing. She's just talking to him. So she gets, oh, I'm upset. He's an 11-year-old boy who hasn't seen his mom in over a year, or not over a year, but hasn't seen her in a long time. And I just feel like that's not really giving her the whole picture. Yesterday when she spoke with him, he was at my house taking a break because he was having a hard time with his dad. And I thought that getting him over to my house, where I have a trampoline and a pool and things for him to do, kids for him to play with, would be a good time for him. Kind of get him out of that. He had gotten in trouble and not in trouble, but a consequence where he wasn't allowed to play his system, and that upset him. And so he chose to act out. Me and Brad have initiated a lot of different ways to help Bruno
Ms. Cuthbert,
manage.
I apologize. Just so you're aware, Ms. Kroll, we're in court, and if we were in court, you wouldn't be able to smoke a cigarette. So I'd ask that you extinguish your cigarette. Thank you. And then Ms. Cuthbert, just do you have any additional comments just related to the appointment of the emergency guardian, anything related to that, any additional items?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I just think that Brad's a good candidate. Bruno was originally left with him anyways, and I stepped up to help Brad because Brad wasn't really entirely sure how to go about starting the process. I helped him get the process started, and we just decided that him staying with Brad is the best option, and we're working together to kind of support Bruno in the best way that we know how. And I feel like so far we're doing a pretty good job considering the circumstances.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. I appreciate hearing from each of the parties related to Bruno and his well-being, and really that's kind of the focus here. And I think Ms. Farr kind of touched upon that issue, is that we want to make sure that children are safe and well and protected. And often it's not uncommon that parents struggle, and the struggle is very challenging and difficult. And it sounds like Ms. Kroll has experienced numerous factors that are really challenging, including homelessness, and then the pregnancy, and then the fake UA, and then the alcohol and the marijuana, and not following through on some appointments. And so there's a lot of factors, a lot of things that she's working on and working through. And so while she's working through that, we need to make sure that Bruno, which I love his name, it's a cool name, needs to be taken care of. And at this point, I think given the information that I've heard, is that there needs to be some immediate protection for him while Ms. Kroll works and makes some improvements. And obviously, as she makes those improvements, the need for that safety diminishes because she's in a better place. She's in a better spot to be able to provide that care to Bruno. So I'm going to grant the request for the appointment of the emergency guardian, and appoint him as Mr. Peters as a guardian.
Can there be stipulations like they're making major choices that I'm not involved in at all? Nobody would have even told me at all about
Your Honor,
and I'm being treated. I'm talking.
So hold on, Mr. Peters. Yeah, we take turns.
I'm being treated like I don't deserve to know, and I know my son. This isn't just me. Listen, when he tells me he's not doing or whatever, or he tells me a situation where he's complaining about an adult, I question him and I break it down and I evaluate. I could tell when he's just pulling it over. I could tell when he's serious. And every single time I talk to him, and it's not been a month, court just happened. He's just completely flat. Like, it's just,
So you were talking about that you wanted some stipulations regarding
Yeah, like
input regarding medical care, things of that nature.
Yeah, if Jocelyn was to have a breakdown and say she wanted to hurt herself, she sure the heck wouldn't be sent to the emergency room like an adult. And have
Okay.
I've seen the way Brad acts around him like that. And it makes it worse. It's like they're trying to make him seem crazier than he is. Brad is interested in the income he'll be receiving for Social Security for his dad and Social Security because of his mental health and how it would help the household income. That's not what this is about. And I have another avenue I was thinking about as far as a caregiver for him, somebody that he knows. And if we could set the court date over, I'm even contemplating just I really need to talk to this lawyer.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think you're on the right track, Ms. Kroll, is that
or if he can just there's not any major decisions made, if we can hold it over.
So I'm granting the order, I'm granting the relief, and then I think it's important to note what you just said, Ms. Kroll, and what Ms. Farr said is that the investigation continues. This is not a static case. People change, people make improvements, and as you make improvements and you get counsel, and the case is moving forward, and it can certainly go in many different directions. And that's the hope, is that the well-being of Bruno is safeguarded and preserved. That's the hope. And so it's not static. You'll have continued opportunity to have input. So having granted that the request, I was just looking at in the case file, and maybe Ms. Farr, you could help me identify this as far as the order appointing guardian and the like. Were any of those proposed orders filed? I see a proposed residential schedule for guardianship, but is that the only order? I'm fairly new to this.
Yeah, no, Your Honor, there wasn't, as far as I know, there was not an order presented to you. Mr. Peters could probably get that down to the court and have it entered ex parte by tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I do have it. It's a proposed residential schedule, so that Mr. Peters did file that. So I think that's the one that I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's different than the emergency order.
Okay, so I need an emergency order.
Before I get started and it's the haircut, I first want to make sure that I get out all the undercoat. I do something called DOC.
Sorry. So I need an emergency order appointing.
So
Go ahead, Ms. Farr.
Appointing the emergency guardian, we could get that down to you by tomorrow to have entered. And in that, there are some options where I believe, I'm not looking at the order in front of me, but I believe there's some options where mother can have access to records. I don't think at this time decision making should be appropriate, given the fact that we don't have current, we haven't had a UA or anything to show that mother can make appropriate decisions.
And can he be being UA'd for alcohol, because it's not appropriate? He's drinking as much as he is around the kids. He doesn't handle it well, and he overreacts.
Your Honor, with all due respect to myself,
every single day.
I don't have an active warrant for my arrest right now.
That's nothing to do with your alcohol.
Oh, wait. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Ms. Farr, do you have any concerns related to Mr. Peters and alcohol consumption and care of Bruno?
This is the first allegation I've heard about alcohol consumption, so I will look into that as the standard case goes forward.
Okay, so that sounds good. I'm glad the issue was raised. Ms. Kroll's concerns can be addressed related to that. So I will sign off on the order that's coming my way related to the appointment of the emergency guardian, and then the residential schedule for the guardianship. I will sign off on that also, and that will get filed. So as far as a future court hearing, Ms. Farr, do you have a proposed time frame?
For the standard investigation, I would say we probably could set a review out for a month. That should give me some time to do some investigating on the CPS allegations, the alcohol allegations, and then give mom time to get that UA done.
Okay. All right. I think that sounds appropriate. So we'll set the matter over to August 24th at 10:30. And just confirming, Mr. Peters and Ms. Kroll, you're available on August 24th at 10:30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
This
So,
is going by, I haven't seen my kids physically in so long.
yeah.
I mean,
so
if
I'm
I
going to
get a
hold off.
UA and
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And the judge had ruled that we have 2 phone calls a week. He never said exact times or anything like. I get that routine and scheduling is important, but being able to talk to your mom is really important too. And I really am struggling with depression. It's really hard for me to want to even move some days. Like it's a lot on top of postpartum or depression, and it's I call an hour later or whatever it is, or it's. The kids don't even want to be on the phone. He doesn't like the phone. It's awkward. They don't know what to do. And seeing me on Zoom makes it harder. It hurts them. It's hard to call. I just feel like I'm breaking their heart every time.
Okay.
It's weird. I spent every single day with them for 10 years. Never once, like one night, overnight, not, and then to nothing. And having a restraining order from my home and my family for no reason. It's not what we're talking about right now.
Okay. Yeah. So there's Ms. Kroll's expressing a lot of concerns related to the contact and the like. And in a way, the way I'm looking at this is that we need to keep the horse in front of the cart. And the horse, obviously, in this case, is making sure that Ms. Kroll is engaging in services and taking the UA, being evaluated for the SUD and also for any mental health concerns, and then getting treatment and support, because nobody gets through this life without that support. So that's where we're getting at this point. So I'm going to hold off on making any specific provisions for phone calls. Obviously, if the parties want to agree to something, then they can, but I'm going to hold off on ordering that. So we will see everybody on the 24th.
One more thing.
We're complete.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll see everybody on the 24th. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see Ms. Farr, Ms. Powers. I do see looks like service in this matter on the old guardian. And just one moment here.
We have service on mother. We don't have service on father or proof of death on father. And I've been asking Mr. Peters to obtain that death certificate to confirm that. We don't have anything to confirm that father is deceased. I just spoke with mother a couple days ago, and I thought she was going to be here this morning, but she is requesting an attorney to be appointed for her.
Okay. And that is Shira Kroll?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Kroll, if you're on the phone, please press *6 to unmute. All right. I'm not inclined to appoint attorneys if folks don't appear. You have to at least be invested enough to appear. And I don't see any indications that there's some barrier to their appearance. Certainly not via Zoom. So parties need to appear. I'm willing to, we need to set over anyway, because at this point I don't have service on mother. I don't have proof of death as to father. So we're going to be setting over anyway. Ms. Farr, you can let mother know if she wants an attorney, she needs to appear. Okay. She needs to at least be that invested for the court to spend funds to hire counsel for her.
She has appeared at most of the other hearings. I don't know what the issue is today.
Okay. And then to you, sir, Mr. Peters, since you're requesting to be the guardian, it's your obligation to obtain that death certificate and get a copy of it filed with the court.
Yes, Your Honor. So I received the application for that death certificate yesterday in the mail, and it's all filled out and going to be sent back to California today with a money order, and then they will send me a copy of said birth certificate. I did obtain Bruno's actual birth certificate through the vital statistics here in Washington, but it's been tricky with dad because I haven't been able to get mom to cooperate in anything with me. And especially even letting me know, like, she knows where he died, what part of California, and she won't tell me. And it's just a constant battle of like, I don't want to tell you anything. I just no cooperation, nothing, no phone calls to the kids, nothing. And it's a lot when I'm not just I'm taking care of Bruno, but I'm also taking care of his younger sisters. And I have been by myself for a year. And I was in, a domestic relationship with Miss Kroll, and it ended up being a domestic violence relationship, which the kids were, subject to. And that's why I got the court order to get her out. She bit me in the face and had continuous substance abuse problems that wouldn't stop. And
I appreciate that. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here today, really, as on a review. I don't have a parent, obviously appearing. Oh, hold on. I have Ms. Kroll, who is going to be admitted. Give me just one moment. Ms. Kroll.
Hi.
Hi. All right. So we're calling right now. We're discussing your child, Brunswick.
Did you just now call my name?
We just started this case a few moments ago.
That's good. My data wasn't working, so I just was able to log in. I had to go somewhere else. So it's funny, it worked out that way.
All right. So in this case, currently, the court has appointed Mr. Peters as the emergency guardian. That doesn't, so that's effectively a temporary order until we can address things further. I have Ms. Farr as well as Ms. Powers representing the state. The concern here is
Mrs. Powers.
She represents the state of Washington.
Okay. I just found out yesterday that I'm able to ask for an attorney. I thought I had to find one on my own.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
No.
Okay. So the court will attempt to find you an attorney.
I wish I was aware of that a while back, because it would have helped a lot.
If an attorney is available. So I still encourage, it can be very challenging for us to find counsel for folks. It may take some time. So I do also encourage folks to, if you can find a counsel on your own, I certainly encourage that as well. All right. I will put in an order and the court will work to find you counsel. But again, that's as they are available to do so.
I appreciate it.
All right. So in this case, sounds like you've received service of the documents in this matter. Is that right?
No, they were served to my mother, which I've never told anybody I lived with her. I never got those. I would never have suggested giving them to my mom. We don't really talk a lot.
What address do you wish to be served at?
I can come pick them up if possible from the courts. If it was easier.
I can have you, do you have Ms. Farr's phone number?
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to have you get a copy I'm going to have you get a copy from Ms. Farr.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, our office also needs a way to provide notice to Ms. Kroll about our request for child support. The address we had on file is the same as Mr. Peters, so that's not a very effective address.
Ms. Kroll, where would you like to receive documents? So it doesn't have to be where you live, but I need an address where people can send you things associated with this case.
Is it possible to have them emailed?
If that's what's the best for you, that is, the court's not going to get in the way of that.
Okay. Yeah, it would definitely be easy.
Okay. What's your email address that you want the documents sent to?
It's,
okay.
It is.
Great. Thank you. That way the parties can send you emails when things get filed and you can be kept aware of what's happening in the court case. And they don't have to send it to like somebody else, like Ms. Peters, Mr. Peters, and you're not getting the documents to know what's going on. All right. Very good.
So, Your Honor, I'm happy to send Ms. Kroll copies. I just don't think that I should be doing a service because I'm a neutral party. I think that's the responsibility of Mr. Peters.
Right.
Your Honor, Ms. Kroll's mother.
Hold on. Here's what we're going to do. Ms. Kroll, would you like to receive the documents via email?
That would be helpful.
Great. So Mr. Peters, I'm going to have you send those documents, scan them and send them to Ms. Kroll via email.
Okay.
Because she's agreed to accept service of the documents that way.
I'll have to write it down. Her mother told me she'd been staying with her. Her mom frequents and visits the kids.
But today, none of that matters. The only thing that matters right now is that she's agreed to accept them via email.
Okay. Well, that's nice that she's agreed. What's so...
So where we are right now is that Ms. Kroll has not been formally served. So we need that to happen. And we need proof of the death certificate to be filed as well. And it sounds like Mr. Peters is on board with that and getting that done. So that's great.
I tried getting a hold of, sorry to interrupt, of Aisha, the biological father's daughter. And the messages haven't been gotten through to her yet. But
we're not going to address that.
So I've tried to reach out to. Okay.
So at this point today, we don't have service and or proof of death from the parties that I need to have service on before we move forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the matter over for a few weeks to give everybody additional time to accomplish those tasks. And that also gives Ms. Farr additional time to continue working on her end and getting the materials and information that she needs. All right. So that being understood, I'm going to set the matter over to September 14th. That gives a little bit of time for those things to happen. It sounds like some things are happening via correspondence, and that can take some time to complete. Any questions or issues, Ms. Farr?
Those are the main issues. There are some other issues, but I don't think this is the appropriate time to go into them.
Very good. Appreciate that. Mr. Peters, any issues with setting the matter over to September 14th?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And you understand that you need to send an email with all the documents to Ms. Kroll and then obtain the death certificate and get that filed.
Yes, it would have been much easier to just do that. I get it. Yes, that's fine.
Good. And you'll need to provide a proof of service to the court once you send Ms. Kroll the documents via email.
Yes.
Good. Any issues from you, Ms. Powers?
No issues.
Thank you. Any issues, Ms. Kroll?
Are we able to, Sherry's giving me a few requirements in order to have visits with Bruno. If I was able to get those done and to her, is she able to approve before our next court date visits with Brunswick or not? Or do we need to wait till then?
We're going to wait. If there's an agreement between the parties, that's fine. But otherwise we're going to wait.
Just to clarify, what I did tell her was that I would need proof of some drug testing before I could make those recommendations to the court.
Perfect.
And then appropriate place to visit with.
Right.
I mean, that's
so still work on what Ms. Farr has suggested,
yeah.
And then we can review that on the 14th. If visits haven't been agreed to and you've done those things and provided that information to Ms. Farr, then we can address that on the 14th.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for this matter. Thank you all. I'll enter an order that extends the current orders out through the 14th and also allows service via email on Ms. Kroll.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Guardianship of Brunswick Sorensen.
And Your Honor, I was appointed to represent the mother. I don't know if she's present.
She is not. I received a message from a friend of hers saying that she was at the ER. I'm not sure what that has to do. I don't know what it was about. I just know that I don't know if there's complications in the pregnancy that she's having, or I didn't get the detail. I just know that she was there.
All right. And Ms. Coder, are you in a position to proceed today?
No, I'm not. I don't have any the contact information I have. There's been the phone number's not working. So I'm wondering if the guardian has a more current phone number. The guardian gave me one, but the person applying for the guardianship, I don't know if he's got has any contact with her.
No, not at this time, but through friends and things like that. What if I could get, before we're done here, if I could get your contact information, I could get that along to her and tell her you need to speak with her, I'm sure.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Do you have a pencil?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
My contact number is 360-703-4625. And I have your information. I will send you an email with the other information, okay?
Okay. And that's 703-4625?
Yes, area code 360.
Okay.
And Ms. Farr, anything you would add?
I did send Ms. Kudo an email this morning with what contact information I do have.
Okay. And Mr. Peters, you said you think she might be in the hospital?
That's, like I said, that's what I heard.
Okay.
I heard that she was at the ER, and I don't really know what it's about.
Ms. Cotto, I'm going to suggest we put this out about a month then. That work for you?
Yeah, it would have to be a little bit further than a month. I would ask to the end of October. Because I'm gone until the 22nd of October.
Okay. Well, let's make it, it would be November the 2nd.
Okay.
And do I need an order extending the temporary guardianship?
Yes, Your Honor. I think that the current one ends on 9/20.
All right.
We're putting it out pretty far, and I just want to bring to the court's attention, I have some serious concerns about Mr. Peters' ability to be the guardian. He's very well aware of what those are. We've had discussions. I will talk with Ms. Kudo, but I think, I guess we do have the option of other alternatives or bringing it back on a docket before then if we need to.
All right. So I think that's appropriate. Mr. Peters?
Yes.
You understand those concerns? Well, you've heard them from the.
Yeah. Yes. Your Honor.
So obviously you need to make her happy. Understood?
Sure.
Okay. Ms. Cotto?
I've communicated, responded to Ms. Farr, and I'll speak with her hopefully within the next week. I've given her my availability so we can kind of figure things out.
All right. Thank you. That will be all until the 2nd.
Okay.
I saw Ms. Cotto.
I'm present, Your Honor.
There she is.
And my client is present. And we are not, she has indicated that we're opposing placement with the petitioner in this matter. I was unavailable for several weeks, so I wasn't able to talk to Ms. Kroll, but we're going to be asking for dismissal of the minor guardianship, and we're going to be asking for placement of the child with my client. She's a capable and available parent, and I believe the guardian ad litem is here and has information that may be pertinent to my request.
Ms. Farr?
Good morning, Your Honor. So I intended to get a report filed by today, but I wasn't able to. So just to give you a verbal report, Ms. Kroll has provided me with clean UAs. And I have examined the home that she's living in, which is an appropriate home for the child to be returned to her at. There's a bedroom for him, everything's set up. Ms. Kroll recently had a baby, so she's a stay-at-home mom at the moment. She's able to take care of him properly. She is clean and sober. And as I have spoke with the court previously, the current temporary guardian, I've had some serious concerns with. It's been since May. So we're looking at 7 months now that he hasn't complied with requirements. There's still not proper service. There's still not a death certificate. He hasn't provided me with his criminal history. He hasn't completed the lay guardian training. And I don't even see him here today.
Yeah, I don't see Mr. Peters here. I don't see him in the waiting room.
So my recommendation is that the child should be returned to the mother immediately and the guardianship dismissed.
All right. Well, under the circumstances, I don't think I have much other choice. Ms. Cotto, if you'll get an order.
Okay, I can do that.
Here, we'll get that signed. And
okay, so it'll be an order dismissing the guardianship, and then my client will have immediate custody of the child, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll present my fees separately then.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Shira, I'll give you a call.
Guardianship of Mickey Erickson.
Okay, thank you.
There was a final presentation of order hearing 6 months later at the end of April 2024, where Judge Warning signed the final order in the case, denying the guardianship motion. That was basically the end of the case, other than an order to compensate the GAL. It's so sad that there was no one available who was stable and reliable enough to be able to be the child's guardian. The stepdad did not follow through in the end, and the sister had too much on her plate already. If there had been someone decent to take him, I don't think he would have been returned to his mother so quickly. I don't think that the child ended up spending much time back in his mom's custody, though, since she's incapable of keeping herself out of trouble. But this time, I assume that the child ended up in foster care, since there are no indications that any new guardianships have been filed. Here is what Mom got up to after the end of 2023. Mom was charged with criminal trespass in June of 2024. I don't know if she had lost custody again already at this point, but if she didn't from these charges, she will have before we get to the end. She posted this photo on November 3rd, 2024 on her Facebook, and then, just 5 days later, she was arrested again. On November 8th, she was arrested and charged with assault 4th degree and received a year's suspended sentence and $10,250 in fines. Here she is on Facebook in December of 2024. She's still able to post since her sentence was suspended. 2 months later, on February 24th, 2025, she was arrested and charged with theft 3. She was eventually sentenced to another year of suspended jail time and a $5,000 fine. Here she is posting her photo 5 months later in July of 2025. She's still out of jail and posting on Facebook. 6 months later, on December 17th, she's arrested and charged with theft 3rd degree. It appears she was able to consolidate these charges together with some of her other charges, and she received the same suspended sentence of a year of jail time and a $5,000 fine for all of them. 10 days later, on December 28th, she was also charged with criminal trespass, but I don't have the details of how that case was disposed of. The same year of jail and fines, I assume. Literally just another 10 days later, on January 8th, 2026, she was arrested and charged again, this time for malicious mischief. She was given another year of suspended jail time and another $5,000 fine, but since this case has a different disposition date than the last two, I can't be sure if this charge was part of the previous plea agreement or if she actually received an additional sentence and fine. The following month, on February 14th, 2026, she was arrested and charged with another criminal trespass 1st degree. You guessed it, she got the same sentence and the same fine. This one also has a different disposition date, but I'm still not certain that this isn't all one plea agreement. So it seems like all in all, despite all the different charges she racked up in 2024 and 2025, she probably only received 2 different 1-year-long suspended jail sentences and 2 different fines, totaling $15,250. But it is possible that she received as many as 4 years of suspended jail time and $30,250 in fines. But that's not where her criminal charges end. In March of 2026, she posted this photo on her Facebook, so she still wasn't in jail at this point. I would assume her son was in foster care by now after all these different charges, but if he wasn't in foster care by then, he will be by now. There's been no sign of him on her Facebook either. On June 28, 2026, Mom was arrested and charged with 3 new offenses: criminal trespass, resisting arrest, and possession. She is currently being held in the Cowlitz County Jail on a $6,000 bond. She'll most likely end up having to serve her suspended jail sentences too if these charges stick, and there's no reason to think they won't. There's no way that Mom currently has custody while she's in jail, if she even still had custody to begin with, and it's highly unlikely that she will be getting it back anytime soon considering the drug possession charge. My biggest worry is who is watching her son. I really hope she hasn't just left him with randos again and that he's living with responsible foster parents who care about his needs. If I learn anything new of significance, I will update again. Thank you for watching.